do that? How come the people didn't do that? So that's when I started altering the way that I've heard all my life the Ohonda Gari Wadeko was done. And it's from that point where uh, I had to ask specific words as to what Ganyangeha words that would fit. Giving first, we give our thanks to Sky Woman, and then we give our thanks to our grandmother Moon, and then we give our thanks to our mother Earth, and then to all the women, and then from there to all the waters, all the medicines in all the shapes and forms that they come in. To our ancestors who carried the good mind, we ask them to help us to return the true spirit of our mother's power, to return her back to her natural seat of authority. From there, we ask our ancestors to help us to return the true spirit of peace, power, and righteousness to the people. And this is an alignment of the body, the mind, and the heart. This is peace, power, where peace, power, and righteousness is attained. There is the You can break down those three words to the same level as you break down turtle, wolf, and bear in all things. Anyways, from there, to ask our ancestors to help us to return the true spirit of the good mind of Gayandawana, the balance, back to the people. This is the opening that I try to do to the best of my ability in the language. So this is something again uh, that I personally altered the way that I was taught, the way that everybody was taught in the way they do Honda Gari Wadekwa. So in that Honda Gari Wadekwa that I done, if there is any words that are improper, or maybe I don't put the full pronunciation, or enunciation, whatever, then let me know. And if the words like words in a sentence don't fully line up in the proper order, the way that I say them, because I know that the way that I learned certain whatever word, I know I don't know how to properly formulate it in a sentence. So I might say, Ayonki atagan hayaki sotagun hanero na behetsto ne gani guri da hawakwe dam dao e oron hetsera gazatstasara ne kanungwe. You see right there, the way that I figure, maybe a 5-year-old could understand what I'm saying. But maybe when you get to an adult who can speak more complex, then maybe they might look at what I'm saying as like child's talk. Like I'm just learning how to formulate words. And really, that since the time my mother died, in getting the proper Honda Gari Wadekwa for me. As you know, everybody has to find their proper Honda Gari Wadekwa. You will hear the basics, which applies to anybody. You can use the way Wayagero says it, the way that I say it, anybody else. You can use it anytime. But we all have to find our own Honda Gari Wadekwa. This is where we find our place within the nation, within the people, where we find what our specialty is. It might be you're a doctor, you're a midwife, uh, you're a planter, you're a builder, whatever. You find your Honda Gari Wadekwa to um, give you maximum growth in those areas where you want to grow naturally. So, anyways, I wanted to say that about the Honda Gari Wadekwa. And again, while you're Gerdu, if there is anything that you see in the way that I pronounce it, or again, if there's any words like out of place, like out of step, maybe it's 1, 3, 2, 4, then
No, no, no. You did it. You did it right. You're all. If there was 100 of us and we had to do it, we'd all have. After we got used to it, we'd all open slightly different, just like we're all different. we're different heights. We're the same people, different heights, different shoe sizes, you know. So everybody has a different approach to the way they're going to do it. Because if you're doing the according to me, then you're talking from my heart. Well, you got to talk from your heart. We all have our own individual hearts and minds. So wherever you're comfortable, then that's where you come. So that's why at the end of the Ohodagarigodeko, they say, da tenos to get if I forgot anything, or what's got the if I erred, that you should repair it within your minds. So when you go to go. So that covers everybody's hiney, you know. If somebody's out to say, oh, he made one mistake, he didn't make a mistake. At the end, he said, if I erred, to fix it in your minds, that means you don't have to say anything. Because when they say it, you're not going to interrupt them for one lousy little word. It's not going to change it. It's your heart. Come from the heart. That's the main thing.
You know, there's a word or a phrase that Gerdo just said, that your average person is not going to catch the magnitude of the importance of this simple little phrase. And I'll compare it to this. If everybody remembers back in the day when there was libraries, you know, you'd have to go into the library and you'd find the, I don't know what they call it, the index or something. You got to go there and you look through the A's, the B's, all the way to Z to find out where your book is. Okay, now imagine going into a library and not having that little piece of bureaucracy there. That's a mechanism that allows your access to information, your access to conclusion and counsel. Anyways, what the phrase is that Gerdo said, what the women's nation is finding out is how did you say it?
You'll repair it within your minds.
No, the part of where, like when you finish saying and then you say, is this in your minds?
Okay, that tenors to get any go. If I forgot anything, that tenors to get any go. Easy Zazawagwadago. Use repair it so I go to go within your minds.
This is where in the people when they were sitting in council or meeting or anything, it would be the equivalent of, say that the people have to discover something where it's not established yet. So a person lays down the groundwork to say, well, 1 and 1 equals 2. Is this not in your minds? This is where the people would say, yeah, there would be a affirmation of what is established already as fact amongst the people. This is a very important mechanism that in the non-native world you don't understand as to what that mechanism actually does to complete a transition of power from the individual to the collective. Because then any individual right now, as you see in the world, like billionaires have opinions, and because they got billions of dollars, they're putting those opinions forward and nobody can say anything about it. Everybody actually has to agree with it because might is right in the non-native world, and might power is money. So in the non-native world, you have no idea of when somebody puts forward like a new thing, a conclusion, and then your ability to say yes or no to it. And so that phrase, is it, me, I guess I don't know how to say it. I say it wrong. I usually say, is that's wrong the way I say it, right?
No. It means, is that how it is within your minds? Then nobody, I never heard ever in my life somebody say no, because it's a formality and everybody knows that And like I said, if there's 100 people, they open and close 100 different ways. Some will say at the end, Tokniowanage, and some will just say Skana, and some will say To.
Yeah. See,
Huge.
what I've always heard is that there's two different ways, like you just said. If we were in social, I'd hear the heads saying Tony Owanage or something like that. But in council, I always heard them say, "Toganayotun Zaganigurha." Is this not in your minds?
Yeah.
Because when you're in council, this is legal proceedings. And so whenever you're in legal proceedings, you're dealing with establishment of collective fact, what is known to be fact within the minds of the people. Now, if somebody comes forward and just says something that goes against that, but everybody knows, everybody agrees that 1 and 1 makes 5. Let's say that's the established norm. And then somebody comes along and says 1 and 1 makes 6. And based on this, we're going to open up a factory that's going to dig up uranium and they're going to produce 666s. And so when the people don't have the when they do not have that mechanism, then you have the ability for anybody's opinion, for what anybody's pushing, to be what becomes the new established fact. And this is the way in the non-native world, that the entire non-native world has been subdued by capitalism through democracy, that the dollar is what decides now. Even if, imagine if Elon Musk, who's bringing in artificial intelligence, even though he himself spoke against it a few years back. Now imagine if, while Elon Musk's factory is producing artificial intelligence, if you had access to a council process where you can say, is this not in your mind? Where you can say, if you do this, and if you do this, is this not wrong? Is this not in your minds?
Well, that's when, like when you're in council, if somebody asks you a question, crosses the fire, if you just say yeah, it's not even accepted. Yeah is not an answer. You have to say what geri wayake. I push the issue, I strike the issue down, what geri wayake. And if you agree to
the only way that a person can do that, you cannot disagree. That's impossible. Like just to say, somebody's going to ask you, okay, we're going to build a fun factory. No, you can't do that. You have to say no with the reason why in law that substantiates or justifies you saying no. Otherwise, if any idea is put forward and there cannot find any substantiation in law why it should not go forward, then that would become an issue or a thing for the people that is now, say, a next level of collective knowledge or the next level of the collective direction. This is actually how the people got to the stage of where the women had the power to say, let's say we were planting in the same ground for whatever, how long. The women would see that, okay, it's time to move on. Well, it's not just one woman that would say it's time to move on and all the other women would say, yeah, okay, let's go. No, the women themselves go through that process of checks and balances, because the people are a collective. Like in the mind, we have a collective of neurons that make up our brain function. And so each person is like that neuron in the brain. And so each one of us has to understand and really can only come to this state of being through being a united people, where everybody is always out to identify the next level of evolution, meaning the next level of truth. It was true yesterday, but today we know more about it. And so it becomes more established. It's through that council process and a simple term. Getting tongue tied. That simple term enabled the first person who sees that, oh, look, the waters are leaking on the branches. It's time now for us to carry out the maples. Do you agree, everybody? That's how everybody in an instance, an entire nation springs into action on an idea in a matter of seconds. This is why the people of the Longhouse, of the Five Nations Confederacy, were the most evolved people on the planet, because we function completely within our brain capacity. We made sure that everything that was external had to first pass through all the checks and balances internal. This meant that all the people were thinkers. Everybody was an intellectual. And what empowered or provided the intellectualism was the language, the terminologies that connects a complete knowledge from within to the external. Whereas opposed on the outside in the non-native world, you do not have a complete knowledge, because say for instance, knowledge of medicine is blocked off from you because people in medicine have created a different language that only they can understand. How many people understand a femur? Well, what the heck is that? Oh, I broke my femur. Who's got a femur? I don't know. Well, I could break my arm, my forearm, or my whatever other part of my arm. But in the non-native world, the mind, the collective mind, is so sliced and diced that the different levels of society do not know what they're speaking of when they're trying to talk to each other. A simple mechanism such as again, you can correct me on that. That simple mechanism will bring a collective consciousness, a collective understanding. So the next time you are talking to somebody who's got a rock head and they're putting up an argument to you where you know simple facts can bring that person to a conclusion, but they are resistance, then you just put up what you know the facts add up to and say, okay, that's not, we know it has been established amongst us that 1 and 1 makes 5. Is this not in our minds? Everybody again would have to say yes. And then in that fashion, the one person who is left as abstinent cannot be abstinent. They are brought into order through law, through oration. This was the greatness of the people, the Kanienkeha people, is that our oration was complete. There was no room for anybody misunderstanding what any of us wanted to say, what we truly meant. And this is not limited.
That's why when you're like you agree with something, you don't say huh, you say what kiri wanu in it, because the ri means it's in law. You agreed in law. So everybody sitting in your clan knows you're talking through law, and if you know your law, they won't even object to it. As long as you're talking in law, you're not. It's like, see, you and I were enemies, but we had to sit at the same table. I can't, just because I don't, our issue is not an issue. The whole body's an issue. We continue our, whatever we have dislike, but as politically within the house, I have to say what geri wanuane or what geri waya. Again, in law, I'm against it, and within law, I'm for it. If you just say yeah doesn't mean nothing.
Okay, you know what? Those right there are terminologies that we need to have. That should be written down. If you give us those two terminologies, because then it builds a level of communication for us that is rooted not in baseball scores or something like that, you know,
Right.
but that is rooted in real brain function.
Okay, then Edith's the writer, WAKE RHI WANONWENE. Wakgeri wanu wetne.
Wageri wenu.
Yeah. Wakgeri wanu wetne. WENE. And that means I agree in law.
Wageri wenu wehne. Wageri wenu wehne.
Okay. Do you want everybody to say it right away?
Well, let's get the one down also, the one that I disagree.
Okay. I do disagree. Again, Wakgeri. Go that far, Wakgeri. I almost said called you Stephanie. Wakgeri. WAIAKE. Okay, then that means I disagree in law.
You see this terminology right there. Right now, I don't think anybody can really grasp the power that's in this terminology. You will only know when you find yourself in that adversarial circumstance, and really, you will only know this in council. When you have the people agreed and bound themselves together to the laws, the rules of council, that's really the only place that you can say something like that, because the person that answers to that means that person is putting their whole essence, their whole being on the line. Now, when somebody says, I agree in law, now that person has to be able to substantiate 100% that the action is within law. And that means whoever they are speaking, whoever their opponent is, because in order to say that, there is an opponent. That means the opponent then will be at a place of having to give ultimate reconsideration, something that is not known in the non-native world. It's almost like putting a gun to your head. Are you sure that's the answer you want to give? Okay, wait a minute. Let me go back and think about this. Are you sure you want to say, I agree in law or I disagree in law? Because for a Kanienkeha or anybody who understands law, that is putting everything on the line. There is nothing left after that. The person, if they put all their chips on the table in something that is wrong, illegal, that person after that, their reputation is shot. They are finished within the people. They no longer have a voice. Their voice then falls on deaf ears. So the importance of this simple little phrase, you will come to know it only through exercising it together. It takes like-minded people to be united, to be bound in law. Law is the basic the basic rules of common sense and goodness and fairness, all of that stuff. That isn't there in the non-native world. Everybody can have this, in their thoughts, but they got no way of actually putting it into action within society where we're all bound by truth. Show us anywhere on the planet where the non-native people in even one community are bound by the truth. Doesn't happen. This terminology right here, this is a key that you will come to understand will open many, many doors for you. Because once you can capture that person who's being abstinent in their own lie, based on their own truth, that person will have no place to run after that. They will always just be ducking their head, running away, trying to avoid you. If you represent truth, they will always try to avoid you. So okay, I forgot to say this. From last week, we're going in from the brain. Remember, Wayagera, we're going to start from the brain down. So really, to understand the brain, it's not just your own internal, it's always a constant reciprocal. If you want fairness, you got to put fairness, and it's always how much fairness you want. It's how far out you're going to go that way or this way. Anyways, the great balance, the Goyandawana of the Longhouse, is that it provides this for all the people. No one does not have access to it. Everybody does. So, okay, one other thing before we get started. We learned from last week that the words written out and the words spoken, we have to manage this. Edith, you said that you were going to write the words, right? And
they are written like from the last time, but like phonetically, that's another story because it depends what.
Okay, what we need to accompany that is somebody to record Wayagerdu just when he says that word, not to record anybody else, you know, like all the time of the Mohawk class, just that one word. Like last week, would we have 10 words? That would take Wayagerdu not even a minute to say all of that. So we need somebody to record just when Wayagerdu is saying those words. Is there anybody here who can do that? And then later on, we'll share it back and it'll be posted all as one package.
Would it be only an audio recording?
Yeah. First, I wanted to ask Janet if she could do that. Is Janet here? If she's not here, well then.
No, she's not there.
Okay. All right then. Yeah, just audio.
And only the words each time, or once per word?
Just one for each word. Whenever
Okay.
like when he's gonna say Wagiri Wanu.
Yeah. Okay. Are you ready to record it?
Yes.
Okay, here goes. Wakeri Wanuetne. I agree in law. Wakeri Wayake. I disagree in law.
Could you repeat them, please?
Wakeri Wanuetne. I agree in law. Wakeri Wayake. I disagree in law.
Okay, Wayagerdu, not to be too much of a stickler here, but maybe if you can give just maybe a second longer in between the words.
Okay.
Okay, so once Wayagerdu says the word and we got it recorded, then we'll all go through it.
Okay, so I'm starting it again.
Okay, here we go. Wakeri Wanuetne. I disagree in law.
No.
No?
I agree in law.
Oh, I agree in law. Okay, I'm sorry. Wakeri Wayake. I disagree in law.
Repeat it, please.
Wakeri Wanuetne. I agree in law. Wakeri Wayake. I disagree in law.
I'm just thinking on technical issues for Angel, like after that to put all of the recordings together, wouldn't it be easier that at the end he reads the whole thing so it is one recording?
See, where it's written, Wakeri Wayake, I'm just looking at it now. I disagree, but it means I knock it down. I push it down. Because you put it up, I push it down. I mean, not me. I'm on the Wolf Clan side, so all my whole, I'm talking for my table, and I'll say what Wakeri Wayake, but I'm talking for the collective. Okay.
But yeah, that will help if we say that at the end and I only do one recording, because yes, it would be I cannot just record and then continue on the same recording. It creates another one each time.
Okay, then that's the way we'll do it. Live and learn. I mean, okay, if that's the best way. All right, so then we'll just go through all the words just like last week, and we'll repeat it after you.
Yeah. She's got to put up the words.
You want to know the order first?
Oh yeah, yeah. Let's go with the order.
So after Wayageru, it's Stuart, Marie-Claude, Edith, Lucie, Jenny and Stephen, France, Hélène, Elsa, me, Desiree, and Harold.
Okay, then I'm going to say the word. Wageri wanu wene.
Wageri wenu wane.
Wageri wanu wene.
Wageri wanu wene.
Lucie.
Wageri wanu hene.
Stephen.
Wageri wanu wene.
Wageri wanu wene. Wageri wanu wene.
Elsa.
Wageri wanu wene.
Wageri wenu wetne.
Wageri wanu wene.
Wageri wanu wene. Circle.
Okay. That, you know, it's nice for you to say circle, but say, don't forget, this is like a race. You're in the, you know, when you see the Olympics, they're running and they hand off the stick. So know your place. You got to know your place. It's important. So now we're running and I'm leading the pack. Wageri wayage.
Wageri wayage.
Wageri wayage.
Wageri wayage.
Wageri wayage. Wageri wayage.
Wageri wayage.
Stephen.
Wageri wayage.
France. She's not there. So Hélène.
Wageri. I already said it. I'm sorry. Wageri wayage.
Wageri wayage.
Wageri wayage.
Wageri wayage.
Wageri wayage. Circle.
Great. See, when everybody's in order, we can all hear them and it's clear. So use ones at the end of the line. You should have no problem. But I mean, if you have one, so what? That's what we're here for.
You know what we got to put there? We got to put that tonani gunny. You know the word I'm looking for. That word, is this in your mind? We got to put that before that so that this is the answer to it. It's got to go before it. Eat it.
Okay. Togania, THO, to, KEN. NI again. IOT. Togoniot. And is that the way it is?
There's no Zewani Gurha?
Yeah, okay, Togoniot. Okay, Togoniot space.
Togoniot.
Space. Ungwatnigura go. ON. KWA. NI. KON. RA. KON. RAKON. Take one A, I'll put a K in. No. Put that, leave that A, it's the double A, leave the last A out. RAKON. Okay. Guatnikun Ragun. There. And is that the way it is in your mind? In our mind?
And just put a slash or in brackets. Do you agree with what has been said? That's basically translated into English, right? Do you agree with what has been said?
Yeah. Is that the way it is that the way it is in your mind? Because we don't know what anybody's thinking. So is that the way it is in your mind? Only you know what's in your mind, nobody else. Toganiyot guanigorago.
Toganiyo, I can't see, the light
Okay.
is too much. Can you say it again too?
I'll say it again, then we'll go in order. Toganiyot guanigorago.
Toganiyot ogonigunago.
Dogeniot ungwanigurago. Dogeniot ungwanigurago.
Toganiot tu guanigurago.
Stephen.
Tokeniot onquanigonragon.
Gorago.
France.
Tokenio onguaniguhago.
Hélène.
Tokenio toguari. Sorry. Tokenio oguanigonwago.
Tokeniot onguaningu ragu.
Togeniot o guanigurago.
Togenio onguaniguago.
Toganiot Oguanigon. Circle.
Okay. It's good that he says it last. He almost says it perfect all the time. So he's really listening. Good. All right, we got that.
Let me ask you a question there about ogonigurago. Which part of that breaks down to the mind?
To the mind? K-O-N.
What's the reference? Is there a reference of
The root is the mind, so it's K-O-N.
but in the way that in the wording, does it imply anything about the mind, like a balanced mind, or is it just say the mind?
Well, no, that would have to be like what we have been talking before to get to saying this. You know what I'm saying? The issue we're talking about to reaffirm if our minds are in this state. Because you're bringing everybody along with you as you're talking. So there's Togoniyot, is that the way? In our minds. And that's when I guess somebody could say, Wageri Hoyak. They shoot it down. But you know, you just wait for everybody to finish and then you say, well, you know, the bears didn't like it. So now we gotta deliberate. And then the clan women will talk and till they come to an agreement. Then we again try to the turtle and the wolf will have to win them over, or else they'll give us a real good reason why they shut it down. Like it's not totally we're throwing the law out. There's one part of it they don't like. And we got to hear that out. And once we make them comfortable, how our minds, the wolf and the bear or turtle came to agree, and then they say, oh, okay, so we see it from a different direction. But now we all have the same mind.
You know, there's a different level of application to that term. For instance, when they were going into council and the person's doing a Honda Gari Wadekwa, it's almost like reading off from a book. Okay, we give thanks to all these things that are beneath the surface of the earth, all these things that are here just in the roots and that, and then, you know, different levels, but then the person articulates and it becomes like a classroom of ecology, of environmental classroom. But at each level, the speaker would say, Togoniot Ongwanigura, Ongwanigundago. And everybody would just say, when it was in just the opening, everybody would just go, huh. You would hear hundreds of people, the whole house going, and that is a collective acknowledgement of what the facts are or what the truth is amongst all of us. But then when it got into the council and somebody's asking about a specific topic, then that's where, like Wayagero says, it's not a simple, then that's where, and the response isn't immediate, because the people have to really think again about what you're going to put yourself on the line for, in saying, wait a minute, am I certain this is law? The person has to think, what if I'm out of law? That's when they have to think like the other. So this is a mechanism that prevents you from being polarized in a position. It actually enables you to break out of polarization into considerization. Yeah. So this is where then we got to start our way down then and start talking about the brain, right? The mind, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
After the third word.
Yeah, after the third word.
After the third word. Okay, now you want to write the word mind?
Yeah, let's go do it.
Okay. Oh no, Wara, that's the brain. ONONWARA. No
Okay.
K.
Okay.
No. Oh no, Wara, and that's the brain.
No. Wara.
What
Okay.
can you tell us the root there?
Well, see, the whole word was Onuwara go, so inside the brain. So Onuwara is just the brain itself. Now, if you want to put Onuwara go, so okay, just go back to RA and put KONSON. Okay, now see, Onuwara is just the brain and go, so is inside the brain. That clear enough for you?
Inside the brain. Okay, would this imply, well, in the wording, I mean, we could break it down to meaning this, but in the Kanienkeha wording, does it imply anywhere in those root words of counsel or thinking or communication?
Well, Onuwara, see, we would be talking about the water because it's floating in the water. There's the water on our brain, in our brain. So the brain, that's why it's so sensitive. When you hit it, you can it's like throwing your computer against the wall. You'll screw it up. So if you hit your head, your brain is in water, so it's floating. So
you put in water there.
Yeah.
Okay, this is getting them to a better understanding, because as we know that the brain, we're made up of complete 100% water.
Yeah.
So to identify in the brain rooted in water, this is something identifying then of what our people have always known, which is only starting to become known a little bit in the non-native world, provable by their science. But as you know, their science, they got to cut the brain open to find that out. Whereas we didn't have to cut the brain open to find that out.
But that's right too. If you wanted to say somebody was talking crazy, you said they know how to way. It means all their mind is mixed up.
Let's do that one.
Okay. Okay, they know how to way. No, this will be back right off. Take everything away. Eat it.
Oh.
Okay. TE. TE. AUION. A-U-N-U. O-N-H. You know, W-A-R-A. W-E-N-I-A. See that voye? That's the mixed up brain. That's the stirred brain. It's if somebody had a spoon in your head and was stirring it. That means that person brain is mixed up.
The
Let's all put the mixed brain, eat it.
the brain is mixed up.
Do you want to say these words before we go too far? And then we'll go as we say them, or it's up to you.
Yeah. Just one thing there. The guaragusa, anu guaragusa. Inside the brain, right there, you got to put in brackets in water.
Yeah.
Also, it was not on the first one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. Sorry. Okay, there's something a little bit further though. I can see that is there in the brain. Something further in the words, because if it's identified in the water, then it's got to be implied further as even the electrical charges in the water. It's got to even imply the steps that we took to come out of the water. Is there anything further there that you can pull out of those words in that line?
Well, here we're not coming out of the water, we're in the water. We're in the water right now. And we don't really come out of the water almost ever. Okay. Even if you're crazy, you're not coming out of the water.
Okay, so let's go over those words then.
Okay, onuwara.
Onuwara.
Onuwara. Onuwara.
Onuwara.
Even.
Onurawara.
France. Hélène.
Onuwara.
Onuwara.
Elsa.
Onuwara.
Serge, you're new. I don't know if you want to try it.
Anuwara.
Yeah, that's right. Onuwara.
Onuwara.
Wara, okay.
Onunwara.
Anunwara. Circle.
Okay. Next one is a little longer, but it's probably easier to say. Onuwara gunsu.
Onuwara gunsu.
Onuwara gunso. Onuwara gunso.
Unuwara gunso.
Ununwara gunsun.
Onuwara gunso.
Hélène.
Onuwara gunso.
Elsa.
Onuwara guso.
Serge.
Unuwara kunso.
Onuwara gunso.
Gunso.
Onunwara gunso.
Anunwara gunsu. Circle.
Okay, see, me listening, I get something out of listening to when you're talking. It's almost gunsu. It's almost like the faces in our minds. Gumsa. You see how the word gumsa is there? Gumsu. So it's the brain faces in our mind.
Oh.
It's like we have living. I think it's like I'm thinking now that's where like the Ganaguida, his faces are on all the trees, and so Ongoyerun, our body, so the brain is part of the trunk of the tree. So he's embedded within our psychic.
The Agunsa.
Yeah,
This goes right back to the creation story, and we know what the Agunsa is. It's the medicine for our mind. It's the Agunsas massage the bad, the Gani Guraksa, out of the mind, out of the person, out of the spirit. So we're talking about the realm of perception. So inside the brain, if you see, if Agunsa is a part of the root word of inside of the brain, then it's identifying where the perceptions, it's identifying perception, because the face is, it comes into on the third sacred ceremony of the naming. You can't name the Agunsa until the face is there, until you see it. So there, I mean, we can easily conclude this. I mean, the brain, that's where perceptions are. Yeah. But brain in English does not say where perceptions are or whatever. And as a matter of fact, the rest of the entire medical industry is actually taking away perceptions from the brain. So to understand the brain and have the proper references to it is paramount for any human to have Gayandawana, to have the balanced brain. So there then, Agunsa, as the face in the brain, that's the place of perception. So just put a slash after that, place of perception. And then you can go a lot further. I mean, we can continue and continue about the place of perception, because then we're going into all the other every other part of law that actually manifests in council, in grand council, within the people. Perception, great law of peace. It's in the brain.
Well, look, when we talk sometimes, and somebody says, "Hey, do you know Claude?" Say no. Then you, in your mind, you say, "I got to put a face to a name." So it goes to the brain. Goes to the brain to look for the face. And then you say, "Oh yeah, oh so that's him. I don't remember his name, but I remember his face."
Okay, is there another one now, or
no? Yeah, we're on the next word there. Okay, and now this is the brain is mixed up or crazy. De you know what I want yet.
De you know what I want yet.
Yeah.
De you know what I want yet. De you know what I want yet.
De
Okay.
you know what I...
Excuse me, I'll have to interrupt everybody. We'll go all the way back. It's do you know what I want? Yeah, it's a E at the end, not a A.
So.
And is it an A here at this part?
Do you know what I want? Yeah, no, it's all good. It's all
Okay.
good. No. So we'll go back to Gazit Donzerio. I'll say it and we'll go from there. Do you know what I want yet?
De you know what I want yet.
De you know what I want yet. De you know what I want yet.
De you know what I want yet.
They knew what I wanted.
De you know why I want ye.
What I want yet.
De you know what I want ye.
Elsa.
Do you know what I want?
Good.
De you know what I want ye.
De you know what I want ye.
Teari Warawanya. Circle.
Okay. Do you know what I want yet? All right.
Do you know what I want yet.
What's the next word? Edith?
That's it.
Let's go to a balance then. If the brain's mixed up, what's the opposite then? What is the term? Is
Okay.
that
Yen. You know. Oh, I-E. Ninkh. Raieeri. See, anybody know that? No, okay, Nicoraieri means the mind is equalized.
Like Yenigurayeri.
Yeah, I'll tell you why. The mind is equalized or normal. Because see there, we get if you know the numbers, Aska Degniasa Gayeri, see at the end, IERE is just a case missing. So it means that your brain is balanced. Because if you had 3 in there, would be off. So if you have 4, you're balanced. You got 2 on each side. So you say Nicoraieri.
so that implies the 4 sacred ceremonies in there
I guess so, yeah.
in the brain. Then in relation to Gayandawana, what's the difference between those two?
Well, what's the difference between those two? Well, you have to be like, you really, really have to be thinking properly. Like when you're playing the Gayandawana, it's a big thing, so you're not going to be playing it if you know nothing about it. You got to know the whole thing of it. It's got to be explained to the people before they play it. You just don't go in there. It's not a game of luck. Well, it is a kind of a game of luck, but it's balance. It's a game of balance, right? That's what it is.
Doesn't that imply Gayandawana? Doesn't that imply the balance?
Well, Gayandawana is not in there, but because we're in the Garunda, within the tree, so we're Oya that comes from the tree. So yeah, we're inside the tree right now. We're inside the trunk of the tree, but we're at the top now, at the brain.
Okay, but Gayandawana, we know the game, what it implies, what it means. It brings balance within the nation, within the people. It's not a game. It's not whatever people imply today. It's a matter of establishing a psychological and spiritual balance. So there, Gayandawana, that is like better reference in English would be like an equilibrium.
Yeah.
Gayandawana.
Well, the exact translation of Gayandawana is the big wood. The big wood. Yeah.
Now, would that imply then the big tree?
Well, yeah, it would have to come from a big tree. Yeah, Gayandawana.
So then that would imply there then, if you're in the big tree, then if you're within it, you're within balance. You're within order of everything.
But here the Yenigurayeri is the mind is equalized.
Yenigur Yayeri.
Yenigurayeri.
Rayeri. Yenigurayeri.
Okay.
Yenigurayeri. Okay, do we do it?
Yeah, yeah. Okay, I thought we were doing it. Okay, here we go. Yenigurayeri.
Yenigurayeri.
Yenigurayeri. Yenigurayeri.
Yenigurayeri.
Yenigurayeri.
Yenigurayeri.
Yenigura yeri.
Yenigura yeri.
Yenigura yeri.
Yanigura yeri.
Yenigon Vareri.
Okay. Circle. Okay.
How about here then, a word that we can use in that, like to say then, like, you are correct in what you say. What you're saying is right.
Tasheride. Tasherite. Tasheride is you're correct.
Does that apply to both life giver and life protector?
Yeah.
The share today. The share today.
But I'm talking to only Mary Claude, Tasheride. If it was all of you, I would say does Oyeride.
Better put that too.
Does it W-A? No K. Does it Y? Take the R out, I-E. There's a Y and E instead of I.
I got lost.
Yeah, read there, R-I-T-E. Okay, does it Oyeride?
Does it wire today?
What's that?
You're all right.
What does that mean?
You're all right. You're all correct.
All of you. Deza wire today. Deza wire today.
Yeah, does it Oyeride?
Does a wire today. Does it or does it?
Does it Oyeride?
Does it? Does it wire today? Does it wire today? Does it wire today? Okay. Does it wire today?
Very close.
Let me see the first one. That's the Wayeride.
Tasewayeride.
Does a Wayeride.
Does a Wayeride.
Daze wayeride.
That's a wayeride.
That's the Wayeride.
Daze wareride.
Daze Vareri. Circle.
Okay.
We say the first one. That's it.
Didn't we?
I don't think so.
Does it today? We didn't say it.
I don't think so.
We didn't say that. Does it today?
No.
No?
Nope.
Okay, then Dasheride.
Does it today?
Dasheride.
Dasheride.
Tasheride.
Dasheride.
Dasherite.
Elsa.
Dasheride.
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 Dasheride. Circle.
What's our next word?
I'm just thinking of like what we're teaching people how to speak correctly. So I support what you say.
Oh, I support what you say. Okay. T apostrophe KON RHI WA twice WA SE Tkuri wawaze. No tia, e. Tkuri wawaze. And that means I support in law whatever I'm supporting you on, whatever issue. Tkuri wawaze. Yeah, in law, I support in law. Tkuri wawaze. Well put, Edith. Tkun. You're gonna get that, and that's one of the hardest things. Some people can't do that. It's a quick T to a, and your K sounds like a G. Tkun. Wawaze.
Tkuri wawaze?
Yeah, tkun wawaze.
Tkuri wawaze. Tkuri wawaze.
Very close.
Tkuri wawaze. Tkuri wawaze.
Ikunri wawaze.
Tigon riwawaze.
Gon Dariwa Wazi.
Tkun wawaze.
That's good.
Tikori riwawaze.
Very good.
Kuri
Excellent.
wawaze.
Tkuri wawaze.
Tkun wawaze. Circle.
Okay. Tkuri wawaze. We'll do it one more time. Just hear it and go. Don't go back. Say it wrong, but don't go back because you'll mess the next person up. I'll say it and Gaji does it. You'll get ready right away. Tkuri wawaze.
Tkuri wawaze.
Tkuri wawaze. Tkuri wawaze.
Ikunri wawaze.
Tigon riwawaze.
Gon Riwawazi.
Tkun wawaze.
Tikon riwawaze.
Kuri wawaze.
Tkun wawaze.
Tkun wawaze.
Fair, see? You know, that's the thing is like if somebody goes back and then they mess everybody up. So just go make the mistake. But I think if they heard Mary Claude say was Mary, the next person, it's Edith after Mary Claude. If Mary Claude messed up, but Edith already heard because he knows the deal and myself, so it's in her head. If Mary Claude goes back and says it wrong, it throws her off and then it throws everybody off. So just finish off and then we'll fix it later. Okay, well, let's go to the next word then.
What about I don't support?
Okay. Okay. Well, you just say Kerihuayaks. Kerihuayaks. Yeah. Kerihuayaks. Gajidazario Kerihuayaks.
Kerihuayaks.
Kerihuayaks. Kerihuayaks.
Geri wayaks.
Gertie Wayaks.
Geri Wayaks.
Keri wayaks.
Keriwayaks.
Serge.
Geri wayak.
Geri wayaks.
Geri wayaks.
Geri wayaks. Circle.
Okay. I don't support. Okay. I what it is, Kerihuayaks, Edith, is I knock down the issue.
Can that be like emphasized with like Kerihuayaks? Kerihuayaks.
Kerihuayaks would be a female.
Female?
Yeah, Kerihuayaks.
What
Oh,
do you mean?
no, that would be a it. That would be a it, Kerihuayaks.
So it applies to both.
Yeah.
Karihoyaks. Did we say it? We didn't say it. Huh?
Yeah, yeah.
We did? Karihoyaks. Okay. From there, how about then, can I help you?
Okay.
Or let me help you? Can I help you?
Owado, Enwaton. En, E-N,
E-N.
E, Enwaton. Okay, Owado, space, En, Kon, IE, NA, WASC. Okay, can I help you? Owado Oguyena was it?
Awando Anguwenayaze.
Uguye Nawaze.
Anguye Nawaze.
Yeah,
Awando Anguye Nawaze.
that's the one.
Oh, would it be like that? Only 1 year, I was it?
And wagu to
Owado Oguye Nawaze.
and wagu and NIA what
Owado, okay.
Okay.
Owado Oguye Nawaze.
and wagu and you hey how was it?
Okay, I don't
We
know.
gotta start over because Mary Claude eat it. We didn't say it.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Something went. Listen real close, then we're gonna go now. Owado Oguye Nawaze.
Awando Anguye Nawaze.
Owado Angoyena waze. Owado Angoyena waze.
On wagu and we and we excuse me on wagu and we hey kawaze.
Okay.
Waton and Gonyena waze.
Excellent.
Awadu Anguyena Waze.
Unwanton Unguyena Waze.
Enwatu Anguyenawaze.
Serge.
Nwantu Nkonyena Waze.
Good.
And watu Anguyena wase.
Wantu Ngonye Awase.
Nwantu Ungonyena Waze.
Okay. Great. Owado Oguye Nawaze.
How many words do we got right now?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12,
14.
14.
14?
40.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, I count 12 too.
14. Do we want to keep going with more words, or do we want to go over these words and kind of like hold it to like a minimum or maximum amount of words? How many words did we have last week?
16.
16? So we can go to 4 more words to be equal with last week.
Okay.
Okay, what do you think? What go with this line of communication?
Owado Oguye Nawaze.
What about when we are thinking or reflecting or
What are you thinking?
Nahoda, Nahoten, space, SA, N-O-N-H. T-O-N. N-I-O-N. K-W-A-S. Okay, what are you thinking? Nahoda is what? Zanutunyugwas is what? Thinking.
Okay. You're gonna have to break that word up, Peter. Go to Zanu. Between the N and the H.
No, you gotta have the H in there. Break it at the H. Yeah, Zanu.
Zanu.
Yeah, yeah. Tunyugwas, yeah.
Zanutunyugwas. Zanutunyugwas. Gazito right after me. Nahoda Zanutunyugwas.
Nahoda Zanutunyugwas.
Nahoda zanun tonyunkwas. Nahoda zanun tonyunkwas.
Nauta Sau Nauta.
Nauten sanon tenyonkwas.
Good.
Can you repeat for me?
Nahoda Zanutunyugwas.
Nahota sanuta
Tunyu.
tunyu
Kwas.
was.
Nahonton sanyon tonyonkwas.
Nahota sanuta nunca. Quars.
Yeah.
Nahotan sanon tanyankwas.
Nahontan sanon
That's
tonyonkwas.
good.
Nahontan sanun tonunquas.
Nahonta, Zanu, Dahonoquas. Circle.
Okay. Nahoda Zanutunyugwas. Okay, what do you want to go with after that?
Another good question in this area. Anybody?
Yeah, I do. What are your dreams?
Okay. Nahoda. Let's see. Nahoda S-A T-E-T of S-C-S, yeah. So that's apostrophe T-S-E-N-S. T-S-N-S. T-S-E-N-S.
That make more
Yeah,
sense.
that's it. What are your dreams?
Nahoda zanun.
That's
No, those are Detsons. Now,
can you say that again?
okay, I just wanted to write the English. What are your dreams? Okay, we're ready. We're gonna go. I'll say it twice after I finish the second time. Gazidonzerio goes. Nahoda Zadetsons. Nahoda Zadetsons.
Nahoda Zadetstas.
Nahoda zadetsan. Nahoda zadetsan.
Naoda Satensan.
Nahoden satetsan.
Nahodan sadetstan.
Nahondan satetstan.
Nahotan sadetsa.
Nahotan satenstan.
Naodan satetsans.
Nahoda satesta.
Nahodan, Sadetsans.
Excellent. Nahoda Zadetsons.
Does anybody else have a phrase in line with this?
You could say you had a nightmare if you want to hear that.
Mhm.
I was going to ask, how do you say sacred tobacco?
Okay. Sacred tobacco. Okay. I-O-I-E-N. Apostrophe K-W-A-T. KWENIES. And that is not like, it's not the word sacred in there is like it's like a well-respected tobacco. Yuyoncuatcueñes. Yuyoncuatcueñes, that's well-respected tobacco, which like the English doesn't do it justice. If you were coming off Kanienkeha, your English wouldn't be right. Okay, Yuyoncuatcueñes, and that's because you only use it for certain things. You just don't use it for anything. That's why you save your tobacco for only certain things. When you're collecting medicines, when you're opening a fire, namings. So it's only for respectable things that you use it for. So you say Yuyoncuatcueñes.
Yuyoncuatcueñes.
Okay, we'll say it. Yuyoncuatcueñes.
Yuyoncuatcueñes.
Yuyoncuatcueñes. Yuyoncuatcueñes.
Yuyoncuatcueñes.
Yuyoncuatcueños.
Yuyunguacueños.
Yuyoncuatcueñes.
Huayoncuatcueñes.
Serge?
Yuyoncuatcueñes.
Okay,
Yuyoncuatcueñes.
that was good.
Yuyoncuatcueños.
Good again.
Yuyoncuatcueñes.
Okay. So we seem to have a harder time at the last 6 people around that area. 2 people said it really well. Somebody around the 3rd back, 4th back, and the person before them was both women. At least.
Maybe you
But-
should give it a kickstart in the center. How many people are there?
Says 12, but I don't know. It seems like more. I don't know.
Then at the 6th person, maybe you just give a refresher.
No, we'll do the whole thing, but just now, everybody perk up your ears. Because I'm going to say it and then we'll go from there. Yuyoncuatcueñes.
Yuyoncuatcueñes.
Yuyoncuatcueñes. Yuyoncuatcueñes.
Yuyoncuatcueñes.
Yuyoncuatcueños.
Yuyunguacueños.
Yuyoncuatcueñes.
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 Yuyoncuatcueños.
Yuyoncuatcueñes.
Okay, great, really good. Who's the 3rd person from the last? It was a female. She said it really nice and loud and clear.
It's me, Angèle.
It's you, Angèle? Okay, say it again then, Angèle. There,
Yuyoncuatcueñes.
okay. Oh, geez, I forgot your voice.
It's like a song.
Yeah,
You're
what
singing.
it is, Yuyoncuatcueñes.
Yuyon. Okay.
Yuyoncuatcueñes.
How
see-
relation Oyungwa?
Oyongo, well, that's it. That's Yoyon. See, Yoyon is it can mean 2 things. Yoyon. Yuyoncuatcueñes, that's this respectable smoke.
So Yoyongwa, that's just tobacco?
No, that's just tobacco. Yuyoncuatcueñes. And the
Yuyoncuatcueñes.
respectable is at the end. Cueñes. Yuyoncuatcueñes.
Yuyoncuatcueñes. Yoyon.
Yoyon.
How many words do we got? Do we got 16?
I think we're missing one.
Anybody got another phrase or another word?
I want to know how to write the word before or else.
You already had one. Give somebody else a chance. Anybody? Okay, then, France, go ahead.
I've been wanting to know how to write the word that comes before or else, how to write it. And I've been asking that for like months and I just never had the answer.
Before what?
The word that comes before all else.
Ohondo. Oh. And then Garihodekwa. RHI. RHI. B. WA. TEKWEN. Okay, Ohondo Garihodekwa. Ohondo Garihodekwa.
Ohondo Gariwadekwa.
Ohonda gariwadekwa. Ohondo gariwadekwa.
Ohontu gari guadegua.
Honton Gariwa Dekwa.
Ahondon gariwadekwa.
Ohonton gari wadekwa.
Ohando Garigadekwa.
Ohonton gari wadekwa.
Ohonton gari wadekwa.
Excellent.
Ahonton gari wadekwa.
Ahondu gari wadekwa.
Okay. Ohondo Garihodekwa.
So Gariwadekwa. Does that just mean before or?
No, Ohondo is before.
Okay.
And Garihodekwa is all else.
Well, where is the word?
Garihodekwa, it's all combined together, it's all else. Before. Ohondo is before. The words that come before else. Okay, Ohondo is the word, okay. Ohondo, Garihodekwa. It's all condensed into one. The words before all else.
Gariwadekwa. So I guess then this is a different kind of a word, right?
Yeah, it's actually a word that, for me, it actually confuses me. Because Garihodekwa, okay, I know that's in the law. Dekwa is what confuses me. Before, I used to hear Ohondo Gawano Hetsto. Ohondo Gawano Hetsto. The words before all else. Okay, just eat it. Ohondo K-A WENNO HETSTON. Now that's the word I know. Ohondo Gawano Hetsto, and that's the words before all else.
Okay.
So you take your pick which one you want. See, I can explain what Gawano Hetsto means, but Gariwadekwa. I heard it. I hear it in school all the time, but if I have to explain it, I don't know where the root is. Ga is the it, and then wano is the words before. Words to pass. Ohondo is before. Gawano, the word to be past, like the word before all else.
So Wadekwa is the gray area.
Yeah, for me, yeah.
What is that Wadekwa? What is that connected to?
I don't know. That's the $16 million question. Ohondo is before. But Gawano Hetsto, that's what we've used all our lives, unless it's mixed up with a Seneca Onondaga word, I don't know. Because that's what they're doing today in the schools, is they're bringing Cayuga Seneca words, and I mean, I'm not Cayuga, so I can't. But I don't know what it means. If I had to explain it in a school, I would leave that out and put Gawano Hetsto, Honto Gawano Hetsto. And that's the word past before all else.
I think that's one of the words that doesn't belong to any one of the nations. It belongs to the united people. It's a word that is beyond just Ganyangahaga, because right there, Honda Gawana Hetsto is the Ganyangahaga.
Yeah.
And the other languages, all the 5 nations know Honda Gari Wadekwa. But if our language is like that, Gawana Hetsto, then you can be certain there's our 2. So there's the Wadekwa, that is something that comes after. It's not something that anybody would know. It's something that comes after peace established, like the same way that Skanagoaga and then Seego Skanagoa. You can't say those words any other way, any other time. Those words would not apply. It's only after you do something. So that there, the Wadekwa, there is a binding, something binding there. All the 5 on the scale of the brothers, the original 5, something binding there in Wadekwa.
I never even asked anybody what it means, but I know that's not it. That's why I know the other word is Gawana Hetsto. Because anytime someone would ask, like some in the longhouse at the 207, when they would open, they'll say, they go, okay, you want to Hetste. They would use the 2. But first of all, you know, it's that you have a person, a Gawana Hetsto. And then you would know what they're talking about. But if I was just sitting there and now I know what it's supposed to mean. I don't know what it means.
You don't know, or you don't see that word Wadekwa connected?
No, I don't. It's just Gari, that's within law, and then Dekwa. I don't know what that is. They say it's before all else. See, what you got to understand, and I keep telling people in all my classes, there's some people out to sabotage this language. They put stuff in there. It's like putting a subliminal message. It could mean something really, but somebody would have to know what it is. And I don't know what it is.
I think that's going to go something, like I said, on that level of binding the five together. Something that binds our knowledge or something.
You should ask Loren.
Mm-hmm.
Ask Loren. Maybe it's a word they use in Aguizasne because we don't use it. Well, we use it now because everybody thinks that Aguizasne know everything.
We'll try to get a message out to Loren then. We can call up, give him a call and see what he has to say about that. Okay, this is our 16 words then, right? Yeah. All right. What time are we at right now? time-wise?
8:43.
What?
8:43.
Okay, we got 15 minutes. I guess we go over all these words again one more time, and then you do the recordings, right? How about if you do the recordings right now? We'll get that out of the way, and then we'll
Okay.
just going over it.
Start right at the top. This was the top, eh?
So nobody else speaks, just Wayageru.
Okay, here we go. Togania tugwani guragon. What geri huanu etne? What geri huayake? Onuwara. Onuwara gunsu. Do you know what I want yet? Yet ni gunrayeri. Tasheride. Tazewayeride. Tkuri wawaze. Geri wayaks. Owadu oguyena waze. Nahoda sanutunyogos. Nahoda sadetsus. Yoyon guatquenius. Ohondo garihuadeco. Ohondo gawanohetsto.
Could you repeat the first one, please?
Okay, what was the first one?
The very first one?
No, this one.
Togani tugwanigun lagun.
Again, please.
Toganiot ungwanigun lagun.
Because when there's other word, other noise at the same time, it cuts. So we should all close our microphone when we do the recording, and you will hear my cats on the recording. Sorry.
Is ours closed? Wait, let me check mine if this is closed. How do we? I can't see it. Can anybody see it?
So if we could do it once again, that will help. Okay, Mali, c'est beau.
Okay.
Just
You
a
ready?
minute. Nope. Go.
Toganio tugwanigun lagun. What geri huanu etne? Move it up.
Hang on 1 minute. Wayageru,
Okay.
you can't just do just the Kanienkeha. You got to say it in Kanienkeha and then what the English is.
Okay then. Okay.
People might only be hearing the audio. They won't be
Okay.
able to, some won't be able to see the written stuff.
Okay. But somebody will keep rolling it then when we get going.
Now we're ready.
Are we?
Is that the way it is in our minds?
Please repeat. I wasn't ready.
Okay. Toganio tugwanigun. Is that the way it is in your mind? What geri huanuene? I agree in law. What geri huayake? I disagree in law. Onuwara, the brain. Onuwara gunsu. Inside the brain. Do you know what I want yet? The brain is mixed up. Yet nigun rayeri, the mind is equalized. The sheride, you're correct. Desawayeride, you're all correct. Tkuri wawaze, I support in law. Geri wayaks, I knock down the issue. Owadu oguyeno, can I help you? Nahoda zanutunyogwas, what are you thinking? Nahoda zadetsas, what are your dreams? Yoyon guatqueñas, well-respected tobacco. Ohondo garihuadekwa, ohondo gawenohetstu, the words before all else.
Thank you.
No.
That's beautiful.
Okay, so we got, what do we got now? Like 10 minutes, 5 minutes?
10 minutes.
Okay, so do we just go over all of this now? One more
Okay.
time,
Okay.
right from the start?
Togonio tuguanigorago.
Doganio togonegorago.
Dogeniot ongwaningun darago. Dogeniot ongwaningun darago.
Togueniot Guanigorago.
Do kaniot ongwanegonragon.
Tugunio ongwaniru guragon.
Tokweniot ogwanigurago.
Elsa, you're muted.
Toganiot ongwaningurago.
Doganiot oguanigurago.
Ganiot ongwan gunagon.
Toganio, Ogwanigun. Circle.
Okay. What geri huanu wetne?
Wageri wanu wene.
Wageri wanu wene. Wageri wanu wene.
Wagiri Wanu Wane.
Wakeri wano wane.
Wagiri wanu wante.
Wageri wanu wene.
Wajeri wanuwane.
Wakiri wanu wane.
Wageri wanu wane.
Wageri wanu wane.
Wagadi Wanumwane. Circle.
What geri huayake?
Wageri hoyake.
Wageri wayage. Wageri wayage.
Wagiri Wayage.
Wageri wai age.
Wagiri wayage.
Wageri wayake.
Wajeri wayake.
Wagari wayake.
Wageri wayage.
Wageri wayake.
Wagadi Wayake. Circle.
Onuwara.
Onuwara.
Onuwara. Onuwara.
Onuwara.
Ununwara.
Anuwara.
Onuwara.
Onuwara.
Nuara.
Onuwara.
Nunwara.
Anunwara. Circle.
Onuwara gutsu.
Onuwara gunsu.
Onuwara gunso. Onuwara gunso.
Onuwara Gunso.
Ununwara gunsun.
Unuwara gunso.
Onuwara konso.
Onubra gutsu.
Unuara kunso.
Unuwara gunso.
Onunwara gunso.
Anunwara Gunsu. Circle.
Okay. The brain is mixed up. The Onuwara waya.
Onuwara wene.
Yenigu wayareye.
What? You're on the wrong one.
Waya.
You said the wrong one.
Oh, sorry. Deyonu wayan warawen. Deyonu warawenye.
Teronuwara Wenye.
Yunun wara wenye.
Derunu waya wenye.
Teonuwara wene.
Tenu waramweni.
Nuara way.
Deyonu warawenye.
Tenonu wara wenye.
Eun mana wanya.
Derunu waya.
Good. You guys are getting tired now. Yetni gun rayeri.
Yeni gu yareri.
Yetni gun rayeri.
Yeni gu rayeri.
Yenigu rayeri.
Yenigu yareri.
Yeni gun raiveri.
Yeni gun ya yeri.
Yenigura yeri.
Yeni gura yere.
Yeni puyare.
Yenigu rayeri.
Yanigun yareri.
Yenigun rareri. Circle.
Okay. You guys are getting a little bit weak. Okay. Dasherite.
Dasheride.
Dasheride. Dasheride.
Dasheride.
Dasherite.
Dasheride.
Dasherite.
Tasherede.
Tasherite.
Tasherite.
Cherite.
Dasherite. Circle.
Dazewayerite.
Azewayeride.
Dazewayeride. Dazewayerde.
Dasewayerite.
Dase wayeride.
Dase wayeride.
Dasewayerite.
Tase wayerite.
Tase wayerite.
Tasewayerite.
Asewayerite.
Dasewayerite. Circle.
Skuri hawaze.
Kuri wawaze.
Kuri wawaze. Kuri wawaze.
Tikonori wawaze.
Tgon riwawaze.
Gonri wawaze.
Konri wawaze.
Tikonri wabase.
Konri wawaze.
Konri wawase.
Gunri wawaze.
Tikonri wawaze. Circle.
Geri hoyax.
Geri wayaks.
Geri wayaks. Geri wayaks.
Geriwayax.
Gary wayax.
Geri wayaks.
Geri wayaks.
Geri wayaks.
Geri wayak.
Geri wayaks.
Geri wayaks.
Geriwayax. Circle.
Owadu oguyena waze.
Awadu agu yena waze.
Onwadu engoyena waze. Onwadu angoyena waze.
Onwatu enguye wanaze.
Onwaton nkon yon awaze.
Awantu ungu yenowase.
Unwatu nguyena waze.
And wantum engoyena wase.
En wantun en konyi wa yenwaze.
Onwatu engoyena waze.
And wantun and gonyen awaze.
Unwantu ungon yena waze. Circle.
Nahoda zanuk dunyogwas.
Nahoda zanut donyungwas.
Nahoda zanun donyukwas. Nahoda sanun donyukwas.
Nahota sanyu tanyokwas.
Nahoten sanon tanyon kwas.
Nayonta sayundagunsas.
Nahonta sanun tanyunkwas.
Naonta sanun tanunquas.
Nahontan sanun tanun kwas.
Nahonta sanyon tanyonkwas.
Nahontan sanum tonunquas.
Nahonta zanun tanunkwas. Circle.
Nahoda zadetsas.
Nahoda zadetsas.
Nahoda zadetsas. Nahoda zadetsas.
Naota sadensas.
Aota satetsans.
Nahota sadetstans.
Nahontan satetsans.
Nahontan Saretsa.
Nahotan Satensans.
Nahota satetsans.
Nahonta Sadensas.
Sedensas. Circle.
Okay. Yoyon Guatqueñas.
Yoyon Cuatqueñas.
Yoyan Cuatqueñes.
Yoyan Huatqueñes.
Yoyan Cuatreñas.
Yoyon Cuatqueños.
Yung Cuatqueños.
Yoyon cuatqueños.
Yoyan Cuatquenis.
Oyon Cuatquenes.
Yoyon Cuatqueñes.
Yoyon Cuatqueñes.
Yoyon Cuatqueñas. Circle.
Okay. Ohondo Garihuadequan.
Ahonda Gariwadequan.
Ohondo Gariwadequa.
Ohondo Gariwadequa.
Oonto Gariwadequa.
Ohondon Gari Wadequa.
Ahondon Gariwadequa.
Ahonton carihuatequa.
Hanto Garga Watequa.
Ahanton Kariwadequa.
Ahonton Kariwadequa.
Ahondo Gariwadequa. Circle.
Okay. Ohondo Gawanohetsto.
Ahonda Gawanohetsto.
Ohondo Gawenohetsto.
Ohondo Gawenohetsto.
Ahonto Kawenohensun.
Ohonton Carwen no Headston.
Ahonto Gaweno Edston.
Ahonton gaweno headstone.
Ohando Garamu. Gawano. Gawano Headstone.
That's it.
Ahanto Kawanadetan.
Mhm.
Ahonton Gawenohetsto.
Ahondon Gawahedston.
Ahondo Gawanahetski. Circle.
There. That's good.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Before we close, Wyagerdo, do you want to talk about what we talked about yesterday?
About
Or do you
what?
want to bring it up at another time?
About what?
About the idea that you had about a play and what we were doing about the cartoon?
Yeah, well, I mean, you're working on the cartoon, so let's work on the cartoon. We can always work on the other thing.
Okay. All right. Well, whenever you're ready, what you mentioned about the dialogue you want to do.
Yeah.
We're looking at incorporating everybody who's working together, everybody in the Two Row Wampum group, you know, our thinking is all about the same things every day, pretty much. Where you can take like other people in the world and your thinking isn't going to be the same as them. You're not going to be thinking about the same things. We find ourselves in a unique circumstance now where we're beginning to have a collective thought where things are understood between us, where maybe you'd have to say a sentence with 10 words for somebody else, where within us, all we have to say is maybe half a word, and we understand the whole concept, what the whole meaning of what the person is implying. So from this, the fact that we're all working together in this one direction, wherever it's headed, we're looking at, as you know, some of us right now are working on a cartoon to incorporate songs, but not only songs in English or in French, but also Kanienkeha songs, some of our traditional songs. We're looking at incorporating, or you can say like crossing the floor, so to speak, where the non-native people will be speaking Kanienkeha to us. And like you would be saying to us in our own language, well, why are you, like for instance, you know, for just as an example, like, why are you in the band system then? You know, like that kind of stuff, where the non-native people will be speaking to us in our own language as to, well, how come you're like this? Why are you doing that? Doesn't your law say this? Anyways, this is the type of thing that we're looking at doing, conglomerating all our efforts together for multi-purpose, not just like to say, like get a unified voice about the environment, but to get a unified voice about what's going on with our humanity. You know, one of us may think, okay, we got to have a unified voice against what's happening in human slavery, human trafficking. Somebody else might say a unified voice in protecting the environment, a unified voice in fighting against what's happening in moon colonization, that kind of thing. So it's a matter of really now getting this snowball that we got rolling. It's a matter of getting it going in many different directions now. So right now, the first thing that some of you know what we're doing is the cartoon. This thing is really coming together. If you are interested in it, there's what is it? Where it's sent? Is it an email that was sent to everybody?
Yeah, everybody received it. Yeah.
Okay, whoever's interested, if you are interested in it, you want to know more about it, you can just message Edith or myself or Mary Claude or any one of us. Say, hey, I want to know about it. You know, then we'll send it to you. So then this will show you then maybe you got an idea of what we can do collectively in another area that we are not yet exercising our collective power in. So just so that you know, this is what we're looking at doing. We're looking at going in this direction, not just for us to come together every few times a week, you know, just to get together. No, we got to get our collective energy going in a direction that is going to be conducive to the things that we speak about. Why would we give, or why would we say, Honda Gariwad, what was the word? Not Godekwa, the one that
Honda Kawano Hetsta.
Honda. Why would we say those words? Why would we give thanks if we're not going to be protecting the things that we're giving thanks for? Okay, so I know we can all come to an agreement on that. I can say, I forget the word. So we know that this is all in our minds. So everybody just get your minds working in these areas as to what is on the horizon for us. We're not just a bunch of people coming together to talk about stuff. We got to put the stuff that we're talking about and our energy into action. So get your gears working in these areas, and very soon, within a week or two, the idea that Wayagirdo has, it's going to expand into us together doing a play. So just think about this. Get your creative juices flowing in these areas of what you know, where we have to have our voice spoken, where we gotta make noise in that area. Okay, so that being said, then who's gonna do the closing? Who wants to do the closing? Anybody want to offer? 1, 2, 3.
I could do it.
Okay, good.
I will do it in English though. I'm inspired today to do the closing. I had a really, really good encounter with my mom today. So I'm Angèle. I'm the daughter of Jeanne Mans, the granddaughter of Jeanne Aimée, and the great-granddaughter of Marianne. We would like to thank Sky Women, as it is who's the blueprint of creation. We can all acknowledge and witness how strong it is and how strong it wants to go out everywhere in all we can look and observe. We would like to thank Grandmother Moon. She's full tonight, full for us. She's doing her magic. We would like to thank her. She's the beating heart of our Mother Earth. She's our heart. So we would like to thank Mother Earth, as it is she who gives us our body. If she's not there, we are not there. So we give thanks to her. We give thanks to all the life givers in all the species and all the strands of creation. They gives us direction and purpose. We give thanks to all the life protectors in the good mind in all the strands in the species too. When they are aligned with creation, we feel so secure. So we give thanks to all the waters in all the shapes and form. Water is life. As we said earlier, water is all in the brain too. So we give thanks to all creation, the trees that are soon waking up, the maple tree that will wake up in the next week. We give thanks to all the rocks, the insects that will wake up too soon. We give thanks to all the birds. I see more and more of them now. We give thanks to all the aquatic animals, all the four-legged animal, our pets that are so important in these crazy times. We give thanks to Gayandawana, to the tree clans. We give thanks to all our ancestors in the good mind. We know because of them we are there, we can speak peace. And because of them, we have Kanienkeha Class Goa. We give thanks to this too. We give thanks to all of this good energy we had tonight and all of these good action we can see happening, the creativity that wants to come out according to Sky Women. So we give thanks to all of that. We push back what doesn't work into creation in the three levels of existence. Eresawit, Eresawit, Eresawit. So.
Yay.
Yay.
See you tomorrow.
Okay.
Where would I put the recording of the words? Do I send it by email? Do we try to put it on Facebook?
Send it to me on email and Facebook, the messenger.
Okay.
And then I'll post it on the
YouTube channel?
Somewhere, wherever we're supposed to post it. Yeah.
Good then.
Okay, Elena.
Ganun ko.
From the earth.